Hey guys, this is a quick comparison to Max Albedo versus Max Stain. I'm gonna be calculating Stain's ability too. So yeah, let's see it. We have my Albedo here. My Albedo has the same stat curse as Stain, but hers is a little bit better. It's not a big difference. Both have minus range, minus SPA. No relics. Albedo has S plus, S. Stain has, I think it's S plus, S, A plus range. Yeah. So let's start with Albedo here. Let me get the calculator. Ignore the language on this, it's just my own language. Yeah, Albedo 2 4 4 5 2 4 divided by 4.6. So that is 53.1 k DPS. Oh yeah, you gotta think about traits too. Forgot to say that. My Stain has range 1. I know I have to get a new trait. My Albedo has Godspeed, so of course my Albedo does have a... She has the advantage here. Let's just say it like that. Now, this DPS is crazy. 53.1k. Now her range is a little small, but if you place her right, she can hit most of this. And some maps, like an example, Fabled, she can hit the whole loop, and like in Puppet Island, she can hit the whole loop. So even though her range isn't great, she can still hit a lot, because you gotta think about the full AoE. So that's basically most of the Albedo stuff. Heroes Slayer Stain is gonna be the one that's a little hard to calculate here. Let's start off by calculating his DPS. Alright. 93471. Now Stain does 33% bleed, so this is without crit too. Now we divide that by 5.6. So that is 16.691 k DPS. Yeah, compared to Albedo's 53, that sounds really bad. But now let's try to think about, see what he does when he crits. So if we're doing crit here, let's see what he does on crit. Crit is times 1.5, by the way. It is not 2 times damage. So on a crit, he will do 140. And if we have to do the crit 50%, this is with crit, but if we do the 50% chance, we'll say he crits 50% of the time, and his average DPS without ability then, and 50% crit, would be the 9, 3, 4, 7, 1 times sorry about that, times, this may sound weird, but I think it's correct. If we do 50, it's 1.5 extra damage with 50% chance. So every second hit he's gonna hit it. So this is just me calculating his average DPS. Remember, this is without bleed too. So you can see it here. Wait, did I do something? No, okay, I didn't. And then we have this, and if we calculate that by 5.6, so with the crit and his average crit rate damage, it would be 20.8. I don't know if y'all understand how I'm explaining this. I can try to explain it again. 50% crit does 1.5 times damage, so every second hit, so it's basically 1.25, if you get what I'm saying. So it would be that, and if we add bleed to this, we'll just add this up to total DPS, not DPS. So with bleed, we would basically have to add 1.33, or times it with 1.33, and it would be 27.75. And his DPS really increased a lot from that. Not really double, but 1.6 times more, I would say, around that. So if I did math right here with his crit and bleed together into his total DPS, it should be around this. Which is, I mean, it's not bad, but it's not that great. I mean, we get units right now that no one uses that have like 30k DPS. People even call Albedo mid with 53k DPS just because she is only ground. Now, Stain is ground, but his ability can hit airs. Now, this comparison is standalone units. For him to hit air, I think you would need guts to bleed the airs, and then his ability would do damage to the airs too. I'm pretty sure that's how it works. Let's look at his ability here. 3 times staying current damage to every bleeding enemy inside his range, including air. And it can crit as well, which is 4.5 times his current damage. Now this damage thing, when it hits, I don't think it does bleed or anything like that. So this is just based off his normal damage without bleed. So if we do 90, 3.471, yeah, and then times that by 3, his ability will do 280k. I did that right? Yeah, everyone in his range that is bleeding. So a quick tip too, if you have 3 stains placed down, set 1 to closest, 1 to first, and 1 to last. In my opinion, that's probably the best way to use stain, so you can bleed everything. Yeah, and let's do it with the crit. So with crit, let's get his stats up here again before we calculate. So that did 280k. Now with this, times 4.5, 420k. Yeah, that's really good for an ability to do that much damage. Now, how do we calculate it? Because every 2 abilities should hit crit. So, I I guess we do. Like this, yeah. So this is like his average. This is between times 3 and 4.5, because you know they're gonna switch these two every. If we say average, like it's 50%. So of course, you know, it's just based on luck. But we say every second hit is a crit because of 50%. So his average would be around 350k for the ability. Which is, that's really good. Now how do we put this into his DPS though? Give me like 2 minutes to think about this. Alright, maybe we should do damage per minute instead. Let's start with Albedo. So let's hit Albedo here. How exactly do I calculate this though? If we're 60 seconds and the ability is 4.5 seconds long, don't we just have to do this? So she would basically get 13 attacks off in this time. Yeah, that sounds about right actually. Because it's nearly 5 seconds and there is 12 times 5 seconds in a minute. So 13, because it's a little under 5 seconds, sounds about right. Yeah. So 13 attacks per minute. So her DPS per minute would be this. Not divided. Oh no. Okay, let's just do this. So this. No, stop. This time. Oh my god, that is annoying. Bro, why does it keep doing that? I'm done with this thing. Alright, delete. Can I stop this thing? Oh my. How do I like. Alright, guess I'll just close the calculator. I wanted to restart, but it wouldn't let me. Okay, so 13 times in a minute times 244 524. So she would do around 3.1 million damage per minute. Sorry, not second. She's not that good. In full AoE, you gotta think. Stain's ability is full AoE. Albedo is always full AoE. I think I did it right, yeah. Which I usually don't calculate damage per minute. I just do DPS. So this should be above average, like a good bit above average, because of her insane DPS. Let's check. Oh my god, sorry about that. I don't know why it did that. Let's start here now. Now with his ability, it's 20-second cooldown, so you will hit it. It did 3,500 damage, and you can use that 3 times in a minute because the 20-second cooldown. Now you have to wait for the enemies to bleed, but we're just going off like a guts, making them bleed like right away. So you can use the ability, or well, you don't even need to think about it being a guts. You just stay in attacks and you use the ability. It really doesn't take that long. So we're just gonna do times 3, even though it would probably take a little over a minute to get 3 abilities used, unless you have a curse. So that just alone the ability, with, you gotta remember this ability is full AoE too, with bigger range, 36 range. She has 27.9, 36.2. Yeah. So we gotta get his normal DPS in this too. Let's see how many times he attacks in a minute. So 60 divided by 5.6. So 10.7 times. Let's. Now we gave his ability the edge, I guess you can say, by doing ×3, even though you're probably gonna take a minute and a few seconds. So let's just say 10 times here, because yeah, 11 would be a little of a stretch now that I gave his ability the edge there. So 10 times, 10 times, let's do this. And we gotta do 10 times 9, 3, 4, 7, 1. Which would be this. And wait, but I also gotta think about the crit. So we're gonna do yes, so this should be his attack, his damage per minute, right? No, wait, what? Oh no. Okay, so let me explain his DPS outside of the ability. So it is 116k with, we're gonna do average crit rate, so it's 1.25. And that's what he does on one hit. So we gotta times that by 10 because he hits 10 times in a minute, which is 1.168. Yeah, that should be about right. Yeah, I guess that's basically it. Yeah. So this plus his so it would be 2.2 against Albedo's 3.17. So she does nearly 1 million more per minute if I did this right. Yeah, I'm doing average crit too. So like I'm calculating if he crits every second hit because of the 50%. Now, is that actually? No, we're not done yet. No. We gotta, can we get this? And then we gotta times this by 1.33 because of bleed. I forgot bleed. This was his DPS if you did the average crit. So this, and then we gotta times this by 10. So 1.5, and then we gotta add the 1.5. So 2.6 million. Sorry, that was my bad. I completely forgot about bleed. So Albedo still does like 600k more, nearly 5.75k to be exact. Yeah. Now Albedo's range is a lot smaller. She has nearly 10 less range. Well, actually, he does have range 1. I just remembered that. Oh yeah, and she has the DPS increase. So this is just like a kind of calculating it. Yeah. Albedo would still have more damage per minute though, so don't worry about that, even without Godspeed. yeah, let's just, these are the two best ground units in this game right now. I'm like 90% sure of that. If you have anyone that could like get close to these guys, you can comment down below. And I'll do another comparison. Now Stain is pretty hard to like compare because of his ability, but we're talking standalone here. So standalone, I would, to be honest, I'm probably putting Albedo above him, but we got also like his ability. Let's put it up here. That was the calculator, sorry. Let's put it up here. It stuns too. For 2 seconds. So I can understand if, like, it's fully understandable if you have Stain over her. Now personally, I have Albedo a little bit above him if we're talking standalone. If we're talking like they can have help from, example from like Guts, that Stain does a lot of the time. What the hell happened? I don't know what happened right there. But if we're talking with Guts, Stain will be better than Albedo in most cases because Guts can hit the airs. He can bleed everything around Stain to make sure Stain hits everyone when you use the ability. So these two are like insanely close. So it's totally fair if you prefer Stain to get the quick damage with the ability, or if you want Albedo that can just slowly build up her big damage. You know, it's totally fine. This was just a comparison video for fun because these are, as I said, the two best ground units, and let's see what they do with full max buff. Yeah, this is insane. And same for Stain. If you hit a crit with Blood Curdle with this damage, if I did anything wrong in the maths, feel free to correct me in the comments. I'm pretty sure I did it right though. You got it. If you listen for the whole video, you know that I did the average crit rate calculation for Stain. I didn't do if he never crits or if he always crits. I did the average. So if he crits every second hit. So yeah, thanks for watching, and comment if you want any more comparisons.